Yes, I agree. It is a new episode of Radio Rothingham after a small hiatus since we were, on vacation. So now I'm drawing a character that is tangibly related to vacationing, since he's the new character from Ahead in Time. He runs a cruise ship, and yeah, I'll be drawing that. So yes, we got with us a few co-hosts. We got the Astra,
Hello.
we got the Bakphoon,
Yes.
and we got the SanyaWaffles.
Hi.
And also we got with us a genuine Italian beer that I bought in Italy. It's Peroni, and let me tell you, it's pretty damn bad. And I'm drinking it. Let's do this.
Oh god, it was awful.
For you.
It was. It was awful for all of us. We were bitching and moaning. It's like, this tastes like piss water.
Actually, the weird thing is that it's not that bad now. I don't know why. I guess it's just bland. It's like, well, back then it really had this really bad aftertaste, but maybe it's just because it's like properly refrigerated that it's slightly better. I don't know, but yeah. Let me tell you, if you go to Italy and you expect to, drink some fine local Italian beer, don't, because you'll be severely disappointed. And the Italians themselves know it, because you go in their supermarket and it's like just an entire shelf full of beers that are not Italian. And then there's like maybe 2 beers that are Italian. So it's basically the same thing with France. You go there and they basically sell beers from abroad, and basically none of it is local. So yeah. I guess. Oh, go ahead.
It just reminds me, like of the beer in GTA that's literally called piss water.
Well, yeah. This
Masa.
this Peroni is getting pretty damn close, but yeah. And in hindsight, now that I'm drinking it at the comfort of my own home and everything, it's probably it's not that bad. But
Almost if you have better technology to keep it refrigerated.
But that's the thing. When we had the Peroni, it was pretty damn cool as well. So it's kind of weird, actually. Also, maybe it's just an acquired taste. Maybe it's like Mountain Dew. The first time you drink, it's like, huh, what the fuck is this? And then you drink it the second time, and then you get used to the taste. You're like, I guess this is fine. But yeah, Artrixcon 2018. It sure was a thing that happened, and it's arguably one of the best trips we've ever done. Like, really, the only thing that really went wrong is that that my car got banged up by some other car, but other than that, like, no one died. That's usually a pretty big one when you go on vacation. You don't want people to die. That would be kind of this beneficial to their health. And yeah, and also for the most part we had some pretty damn good weather. There were like 2 days where the weather was really fucking shit. But other than that, like, it was just fun, clear skies and sun, and we had a good time. Also, the area's fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Like-
it was fantastic.
It's like you spent well over a day driving all the way down to Italy. Well, first, of course, you have to go through Switzerland, which is, let me tell you, Switzerland is still kind of, well, Switzerland. So you drive all the way, so you basically have to get through an entire Switzerland to get to Italy. So you drive up to the Gotthard Tunnel, which is the longest tunnel in all of Europe. And then you drive for 17 fucking kilometers through the tunnel. And then eventually You get out of the tunnel and everything's Italian, but you're still in Switzerland.
Isn't that the tunnel that Margarine caught fire in a couple years back, like 20 years back or something?
Yeah, I think there was a big fire in the Gotthard tunnel, and it was pretty bad. And I think they changed up a bunch of stuff to make it not as dangerous as it was before, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it I mean, I'm pretty sure that it had like I can imagine that it had like the emergency shaft and everything back in the day, because I'm pretty sure it's got like
there was a lot of flaws in the design of the tunnel. I've seen the Seconds from Disaster episode on it. The tunnels basically they weren't as many like the emergency tunnel didn't have as many access points as it does.
Ah, okay. So there was an emergency tunnel, but it was hard to get there.
Yeah, and not only that, because of the way the tunnel, all the smoke basically went backwards, and there was no adequate ventilation, so basically anyone basically stuck behind the fire, they just suffocated to death.
Mm. Well, that sucks. I wouldn't be them. So I went, I obviously went to the tunnel anyway, because I was like, okay, so I could use the tunnel, risk getting murdered in a horrible way, or I can spend another fucking 2 hours driving up the Gotthard Pass, which would take me 2 hours and would be pain in the arse. I think I'll risk the tunnel. It's fine. Yeah. At worst, there's gonna be fire and I'll suffocate to death, but it's fine. Just risk it. Just do it.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you kind of have no choice if you let's say if you're a truck going up those mountains is probably fucking hell.
To be fair, that's probably more dangerous than actually taking the risk going through the tunnel. Like the likelihood of you ending up in some horrible accident is probably gonna be significantly lower in the tunnel than it is if you actually try to take the Gotthard Pass, which is...
Oh yeah, the tunnel accident that I referred to, the fire, that was just a very freak occurrence. Like, it was literally everything was lined up for that to happen. Mm-hmm. If it were, say, basically, the theory is someone's cigarette butt ignited a fire in the... Yeah. So they kind of, what they do is they do a routine, like before you go into the tunnel, they'll pull your cargo aside and just do an inspection to make sure everything's right and, everything. And margarine now basically has to be marked as flammable.
Look. It's always a cigarette butt. Any fire out there has always been some dude flicking down a cigarette. So the solution is obvious. You should just ban all cigarettes. No, I'll go one step further. We'll ban all the lighters. Because lighters can be used to light cigarettes, you see. But then, then you consider, but there's also matches. People could use matches instead.
Okay.
Well, obviously we should ban...
torches. Yeah, butane torches. We gotta ban those too. Oh,
yeah, no, better...
Ban sticks, because you can use those to make a fire.
And ban the butane, because it can be used to ignite things. But that also... but that also means I have to go ahead and bring in my butane tank. I got like a tank with some butane in it. So I have to, report that as well. But I don't know, if it's to prevent fucking fires in tunnels, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just, if for the off chance that I go into the Gotthard tunnel again. Well, that's kind of funny, because I was literally driving down the Gotthard tunnel with a gas tank in my trunk. So, that would have added like 0.2% of fire to the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
No. If there were to be fire, of course, because there wasn't, except in my car. and in everyone else's car. But it was a very controlled fire, so it's fine. Anyway, so yeah, for those who aren't aware about Artrixcon, so me, yours truly, and the Astra, and the Bakphoon, and one co-host that has been on the show only once, Savoy, we went down to Italy to go on a vacation, and I have to say, it was a really cool destination. Like, so you go through the tunnel, and you just, especially when we enter the town of Lugano, which is like the biggest city in like the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland. It's like driving to a dream world. Like, this isn't real. Everything's so different. So
But
Mediterranean,
and not Dutch.
and that too. Everything's Italian, even though I'm still in Switzerland. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because we went. No, eventually you arrived camping, so we walked up to the reception desk and was like speaking in English, and then the guy just immediately switched to Dutch. So it was like this guy was obviously an Italian speaking Dutch with an obvious accent, but I was like, what the fuck? Like this isn't how this usually goes. It's me that's the one who's speaking English. But no, this guy spoke some pretty damn good Dutch. So yeah, from there on out, I just communicate in Dutch exclusively because that's obviously one language that he's pretty good at. I would even go as far as say that their Dutch was probably better than their English. So, but yeah,
Definitely.
that
From the amount of English that I used with him, yeah, his Dutch, even his German is better than his English.
yes. So why didn't you just speak German with them? Because
Eventually I did.
yes, because they're obviously very good at German and Dutch and maybe even some French. I definitely heard them speak French. So I really have to give them props for basically being able to speak every major European language and Dutch. Because Dutch isn't really a major European language, but they spoke it anyway. Because the camp does attract a fair number of Dutch tourists, and that's of course great, because that means that it's gezellig, as we say in Dutch. And it certainly was gezellig. It was a really. And then we had a Xaverius.
Xaverius got done with his pasta and butter.
GG. Well, he didn't miss much, Xaverius. We were just,
I know, I mean, look at the people in the call.
I mean, we were, talking about the Artrixcon and how we got there. So I haven't even restarted the story.
Artrix, you are
Yes.
back at your home. There's no proof that we ever got there.
I've got video evidence. I got pictures.
That's
I
kind of
look.
falsified, Artrix.
Look. I even brought in.
They have technology that can make people dance just from capturing their movements for a few minutes.
Yes, but I also brought an entire Bakphoon to document everything in super high detail pictures. Okay.
Document what?
The Artrixcon.
See? There are holes in your theory.
No, there aren't. There aren't.
I'm still awaiting the payment for the falsified photos. It's not easy to put all those people into the photos.
Hmm. That's a funny way of saying I went to Artrixcon.
Allegedly.
So Xaverius, how are you doing? And also I heard from a reliable source, and by which I mean you, that you also went on a little road trip during this exact same time frame.
Okay, your source was wrong.
Oh. So you're wrong.
No, I'm always right.
But you're the source.
Well, Artrix, you were listening wrong.
No.
I mean,
So what did you do then?
if I'm right, always right, and you have the wrong information, then obviously you were listening wrong.
No. You're wrong. Or you
I think you don't understand the principle in here.
I do. I just disagree with you on a fundamental level.
Yes, because you don't understand.
No, I do. I overstand. I do not understand you. I overstand you.
I don't think so, Artrix.
Well, that's a cute opinion you got there, but
That's not even look. Overstanding is not even a real thing.
It is. I just made it a real thing. I made it legal.
Stander.
Citation needed.
Well, the citation is me.
Better citation needed.
I'll just become better. I did now. So there you go.
You can't become better by having all that Peroni in your body.
No, it's like look back. It's like the influenza shot. You get a little bit of the stuff that is horrible in you, and then you become immune to it. And it seems to have worked because I can actually kind of stand this stuff now. I mean, it's still
I would rather not have a small amount of you in me, even if it would cause me to stand you better.
This alleged trip was very wild, as I hear.
Well, those are your words, Beck, not mine. So
No, those were Xaverius words. That this was very wild.
that is pretty wild. But no, don't worry,
Also,
Beck.
that was actually good.
Don't worry, Beck. I don't swing that way. So there's no need to worry about that sort of thing.
Yes,
So-
Astra was
we are
hoping.
not safe. Yes.
Asta was hoping. I hope so crashed.
Astra, you're into yaoi now?
Yo, I'm actually playing Left 4 Dead and the tank just spawned right in front of me.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
But yeah. Like the camping was nice. The people were nice. All the pizza we had was nice.
Cheetah!
The Peroni was kind of mediocre, so I'll give them that. Also the lakes were really nice. Like we spent an entire day just going from town to town across the lake. It was great.
Going from town to town in search for lakes.
Yes, we were like in a town and we're like,
Buongiorno, do you have a lake here?
"Buongiorno, can you tell me the way to the next lake?" And then they're like, "It's right over there." Oh,
Forget
grazie.
about it.
Forget about it, grazie. And then you just hop on a boat again and just, hop across the lake in search of more things to do.
To ask about lakes.
Yeah, to ask about lakes.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like, a lot of people think that the way Italians are portrayed in popular media is like an exaggeration. Like the way they speak, it's very, that they're like, oh, that's obviously not how Italians speak.
Well,
But,
from knowing a real Italian Irolo, I can tell you that they speak very fast and very Italian.
Yes, like that stereotype, it's true. They really do talk like that, and it's fucking great. I love it.
The French stereotype where they talk really fast too. That's true.
Also,
And eat frogs.
also the thing where they go like oh ho ho ho. That's a real thing
Yeah.
too. That's,
Yeah, they have a very distinct laugh.
It's almost as if we also were in France and are able to tell ourselves.
well, we were
I'm not sure how it is in Quebec though, Quebec, Canada, but I hear they're very more similar to France than they are the rest of Canada.
What was that? What was that dish in Quebec? Where
Poutine.
Poutine. So they just say poutine all the fucking time, like poutine.
Poutine, bigger. That's literally how that's how the French Canadians speak.
Yeah, apparently, the way the French Canadians speak is very different from the way the French speak in French, France. So, yeah, I'm not. Obviously, I don't know how it compares.
I've only heard of one French Canadian person, and he sounds exactly like a French person, right down to his laugh. At times, he either will do a really light laugh or a really laugh. It depends on his what he's saying at the moment, I guess.
Well, that's the thing, because apparently there is a lot of difference between the way, for instance, Germans speak in Germany and even parts of Germany and in Austria and in Switzerland. And to me, that all sounds the fucking same. I can't... Maybe if I really put in some effort to hear the difference, but when I just hear them speak, it's not obvious to me, oh, this is a Swiss German, or this is a German, or this is a German from Hamburg.
Even in America and Canada, where we speak predominantly English, it can have very different accents. Like sometimes
Did you just imply that people in Canada speak English?
Yeah, there's huge swaths of English speaking, French speaking, and native First Nation languages.
Yes, I know.
But here's the thing: the Americans and Canadians that speak English are depending on the region. Depending on the region where you're from, you can sound entirely different. Like I can barely understand some of the East Coast dialects of English. I can barely understand some of the more heavy Canadian accent. You know, the stereotypical oat, sorry.
Isn't that how we speak Canadian? Just add A to every sentence, A?
Yeah. But even then, there's some regions of Canada where they sound just like a stereotypical, Midwestern sounding American. In fact, one of my friends, I have several friends that live in the South, and they definitely have a Southern drawl. But I noticed with a filter on, I have a Southern drawl a little bit. And it's like, oh my god, I don't even live in the South. So yeah, even then in the South, you can have Texas and say Tennessee will have slightly different dialects and different ways of enunciating certain words and pronouncing certain words.
There's something incredibly charming about the Southern drawl, though. There's something very appealing about it, but then again, that can be. I wouldn't even say that is Southern drawl, but I mean that's more like just generic cowboy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very quote unquote colorful way of speaking. And I guess the Eastern. I mean, didn't the US kind of try and make a quote unquote standard American accent back in the 50s and 60s? I think they called.
It's just way too complex once you've got a certain way of pronouncing things. Oh, and the slang is different. Down in some parts of the South, they call soda, pop soda.
Oh yeah, Pepsi,
they call it Coke.
It
doesn't matter what it is.
I've seen the chart. So yeah, apparently there's an entire fucking thing in the US where every region has their own word for just soda. Which in and of itself is kind of an oxymoron, because in some parts soda doesn't mean a fucking thing and it's just called Coke or Pop or Pepsi or whatever the fuck.
Beppies.
To me, I call it carbonated beverage because ultimately what it is, soda to me, baking soda, you get confused, but baking soda is not something you drink, you use to cook with or to clean with.
I always thought that even just the word soda is funny. Mostly because yes, it can refer to a cleaning agent, which is something you absolutely do not want to have anywhere near your body in any way, shape, or form. Well, at least not internally.
Or you don't want to eat it raw. You don't want to eat you can cook with baking soda, but you can't. You don't want to you don't want to do a challenge with it. If you know what I mean.
Well, you can eat a spoon.
Just eat a spoonful of it and
look,
die.
Xaverius, there's no spoon.
No, eat a spoon of soda, a small spoon of soda. Then you have a what's it called? The something burn.
Minnesota.
Yes, when you have digestive fluids in your throat. One of my mom's ex-boyfriends used to always just annoy me. He's like,
He's like, I want a small drink, I want a mini soda, and he would just say that over and over again, just to annoy me. So, Artrixcon sounds like it was an awesome time.
Hmm?
And I'm not sure if I said this, I think, before we went on the air. I'll just say it again. I wanted to go, but it's, just wasn't in the cards due to health concerns and some other things. But, however, I did see some of the pictures going on, and I quite enjoyed it. And it looks really awesome. And someday, maybe when things are a little bit more stable, I'll save up some money and I'll join new folks.
That sounds cool.
Or maybe I could start something, maybe stateside, because I know I'm not the only American on the server.
Maybe you can host Artrixcon USA.
But I think Ohio's not exactly the best location for that.
It is the greatest location of Artrixcon. Because, especially if it's done in the morning.
Ohio,
Artrixcon. Oh god. Yeah, but really, to me, the highlight of Artrixcon was like walking down to the Carrefour, which was about 1 kilometer from the camping at 10 in the evening to buy some. That was kind of funny. That day we went out to get some gelato. We were like, okay, we set up the entire campsite. We set up the tents and everything. We pretty much settled. So this is our first proper day in Italy. So let's go and get some gelato. And for those idiots out there that don't know what gelato is, it's basically Italian for ice cream. So we went to the...
I'm pretty sure there is a person or 15 on the internet that would stop you right now and told you that it's completely different because you don't appreciate the finer culinary points of frozen milk.
But that I was actually getting there.
It's like people in New York saying that New Yorkian pizza is the only true pizza on the planet.
Even if
in Chicago saying the same thing, and the pizzas are both absolutely disgusting.
Yes, and they would even go as far to say that you can import the water from New York. You can import all the other ingredients from New York. You can import everything from New York and then prepare it in Chicago, and it still wouldn't be New York pizza. That's how far these fuckers will go. They're like, you can't have New York pizza in Chicago. That's physically impossible. And then yes, I taste the pizza. I'm like, yeah, this tastes like any other American pizza.
You can have a New York style pizza in Chicago, because that's definitely possible.
Yeah, you can prepare.
The gatekeeping is amazing here. Even I as an American didn't realize they were this hardcore about pizza.
That's a thing. I mean, the American style of pizza is very distinct. It's absolutely it has very little to do with actual Italian pizza. I'll tell you that. I mean, we had the most Italian pizza that you can possibly get. I mean, we were in Italy. We even had like the choice between going to the restaurant that was part of the camping, or going up the street to go to like just a random pizza joint. But it had that very distinct Italian style of pizza where the crust is actually, or the bottom is really thin with a crusty crust. It was very distinctly Italian. And then you have American style pizza, which kind of tends to have like a thicker bottom. It's extra thick. That's what I'm saying. But it has fucking nothing to do with Italian pizza. It's very different. And that's not to say that they, it's not good in its own right, because it absolutely is. I can absolutely go with a nice American pizza every once in a while. But when you're in fucking Italy, you get Italian pizza, okay?
Amen to that.
One of like we were walking down Milano, and we saw a delivery scooter for Domino's Pizza, and I was like, why the fuck would you ever fucking go to Domino's when you live in Italy.
What?
Like-
Nationalism.
Sorry?
What the goddamn fuck?
Well, to be fair,
I wasn't listening.
Domino's isn't as prominent in Italy as it is, for instance, in the Netherlands. But it's there. You can live in Italy and pick up your phone and order a goddamn pizza from Domino's of all places.
That,
But I spit all over my city.
Hey, hello, Domino's. I would like some culturally appropriated pizza.
Like, buongiorno, I'm a real Italian and I want to have some American pizza from Domino's. And then they're like, fuck off, you're not allowed to order from us. And then they hang up. Because like...
It's like going to France and...
Going to Subway.
And going to Subway. Yes, literally something like that.
No,
You're in France. You're in... Eat something at least somewhat French. Please, for the love of God.
actually, I don't think Subway is really trying to emulate French cuisine. I actually don't know what would be the Domino's equivalent in France, because
I heard their French fries are different. They're a bit more limp.
you
And
mean
they don't call them French fries.
you mean in France?
Yeah, they're called frites.
Yeah, they are, and but they're if
Obviously, they should call them our fries. This is not
Yeah,
patriotic enough.
yes.
What's going on with France?
Actually, I don't think the phrase French fries comes from the fact that the fries were invented in France. It's just, you know...
No, Artrix, but
it's-
it's... Look, Artrix, I was putting forward a joke. You know,
Yeah.
a thing that...
Yes, I got...
Not think about the deeper sense of the praise. French fries.
I got the logistical joke there.
Yes, we were great because you know it's the same thing with what do you call it? What do you call it? A French key, you know that thing that you use to tighten various stuff around your house. That's actually called French key in Czech, and in French it's called English key.
It's very similar to how you're like Artrix in your late 20s and you go to fucking Hamburg, Germany, and you're there.
But there are no hamburgers.
And there were no hamburgers anywhere. Well, there was your McDonald's, but there wasn't a single place that was like, hello, guten Tag, get your genuine hamburger right here. They don't exist.
That disappoints me.
It was so fucking disappointment. Back, how is this even possible? I demand an explanation.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he
My
might be.
answer
Oh no! Yeah, I was almost gonna say
I'm
you
trying
said
to come out with an explanation.
you're trying
I
to.
guess because it's like a burger made out of ham and not an actual thing that was invented in
No,
ham.
it's hamburger is actually beef.
From what I've ever heard, actually, it was something invented in hamburger, but it's such a small thing that it's not really something that they built their entire city identity around. Like, yeah, we are the people that invented hamburger. No, it's just something that they kind of did, and then
It caught on elsewhere, but not there.
yes, I mean it you know. The namesake probably originated from hamburger, but the whole concept of making hamburgers is probably not something that can be attributed to Hamburg, as in the city of Hamburg in Germany. It is, you know, it's kind of similar to how the word cookie is derived from the Dutch word, which is cookie. It's just spelled slightly differently, but
And
you know.
there are some refractory cookie, not actually baked.
Yeah, the weird thing is they just call them biscuits. I think up in the UK. Arthur,
Yes.
Astra, can you confirm
Yeah.
this?
So you Yankees went ahead and appropriated our word for Yankees, which is Yankees, and you appropriated, and now you're calling yourself Yankees. And yes, apparently that's a thing. Like the name Yankees has been appropriated to become Yankees, which is then like a way to... It's like American for American? I'm confused.
It's American for the other American artists.
Oh well, and no one gives a hoot because the Dutch are predominantly white, so if we appropriate their culture, it doesn't matter.
We're totally fine.
What do you mean appropriate culture? Are you implying that white people have culture?
Yes.
You're wrong.
Okay then. But yeah. Oh god, I'm starting to sound like one of those social justice warriors that
I think
just
you
go.
had too much soy today.
You soy boy.
Actually, I haven't. Maybe it's a leftover from when we had sushi, and you know that it's like a delayed response to it. I don't know.
He's only realized his body is full of toxins now.
But
He just realizes that.
but it's okay. I got it out of my system now. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, apparently Italians fucking love sushi. It's all over the fucking place. You go to Italy, you expect to see pizza all over the place, and it's like, get your sushi here, sushi here. All I can eat sushi.
They only have
Yeah, but I also saw sushi in the Aldi today, so that's
So
not
sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were particularly large amounts of sushi places even for a modern Western country. Like, yeah, the Dutch have their fair share of sushi joints, but not to the point where of Italy, where it's like everywhere. Every single grocery store, every single city, even every medium-sized town had a sushi joint. Like, we were in the fucking middle of nowhere, relatively.
Imagine a joint made of sushi.
Relatively speaking, like it wasn't that small,
Oh, shit.
but we weren't exactly staying in a big town. It was a relatively small town, and
It was
they
a very small town.
Prolez is a small town. Perez is a small town. Perez is a very large town. That's a classic Radio Rothingham meme right there. But yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't a particularly big town. You know, it's basically the Italian equivalent of, like, I don't know. It's a small town. And they had a fucking sushi joint. And a pretty damn good one too. Like, we had all you can eat sushi for 22 quid. And we must have had at least 50 quid worth of sushi that day. Also, I think this is, you know, Artrixcon is pretty much the time when you got back hooked on sushi. Don't you agree?
I wouldn't call it hooked, but
Oh,
You-
when you say hooked, I
Sorry.
imagine that he's like getting it intravenously or something.
He's going cold turkey at the moment. He's like got
He's-
jitters.
he's he's having withdrawals. He's having withdrawal syndromes right now. It's like, oh man, I need my sushi fix.
I need
man.
a fish, a raw fish.
I need my raw
I
fish,
just had
man.
fish. I had 2 fish buns because we had leftover fish sticks
Well,
from yesterday.
see what I mean. See what I mean. He's addicted to the fish sticks
He's
now. Is-
Yeah, that's the closest that I will get to smelling a real
Fish.
Fishy.
Yes, fish, exactly. It smells fishy.
Smells pretty fishy to me. I mean, not
Consume more feed.
It's not like the big fucking walrus I'm drawing right now. I mean,
Those
Also-
are the fish, Artrix.
I don't know about the fucking part, but okay, maybe maybe it's just off
So,
screen.
Artrix has his needs.
I know.
so yeah, I actually should go and eat more sushi. But I'm pretty sure the sushi place is closed right now, even in a big city like this one.
Well,
I'm-
how
I'm-
sad.
I'm pretty sad right now. Like, this big city, and there's no sushi place I can go to have my sushi fix at almost midnight. What is this? I'm confused.
I don't know. All the kebab shops are open.
Actually, I'm not sure about that. There is one.
You have wrong kebab shops then. Ours are open until at least half past midnight.
Well, there's the chicken spot, which is open till 2 in the morning. So if I wanted to, so yeah, if
But I'm talking the kind of kebab that has cows in it.
yeah, no, this one's got chicken and
That's boring and not as tasty.
You're going
that's.
double down or something.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, so during Artrixcon we kind of looked around to see if we can find a KFC, and let me tell you this: Italians do not care for KFC. I'll tell you that. Like,
They do not like fried chicken.
No, you just didn't look around.
well,
because the arcades-
they were around. Yes, there are KFCs.
They were all around us.
No, that's the thing. There are KFCs in Italy, so it's not like it doesn't exist there. But for every KFC, there is like 20,000 sushi joints. So it's not exactly
good
like
balance.
it's. Yeah, it's
I
not.
like the
It's
balance.
you know, in Netherlands, there's almost like a KFC in every medium-sized
That's
town. So they're all over the fucking place. You can't turn your ass without seeing KFC around, okay? It's all over the I mean, I can even go to my parents' place and pass a KFC in one of the surrounding larger towns.
Oh, that's terrible, Artrix.
Yeah, there's like, you know, you
How can you live like that?
yeah, you get off the motorway, you drive for about 2 kilometers, and then there's a fucking KFC. And I always, make a great effort to not go anywhere near it because for the most part, I fucking hate KFC. It's
It's the chicken! Ah!
no, it's not because it's chicken. It's because it's fucking mediocre. It's really bad. And I've been to the
Mediocrity, my only weakness.
I've been to the OG KFC in America several times even, and it's actually passable.
But
It's
Artrix,
not.
was it in Kentucky?
No, yeah, but I was actually.
the OG one.
I've actually never been to Kentucky. I'll give you that, okay?
Oh, you need to go. To
But I
Kentucky
was-
and have
I-
a chicken. Just grab a chicken off the street and fry
I
it.
I was in the United States, and I was in a KFC there, and almost every single time it was pretty alright. I liked it. For one thing, their fries are actually pretty damn tasty. Like
They
they
have chicken.
yes, that like chicken popcorn. You can go there and buy a bucket of chicken popcorn. It's like just little bits of chicken that are made to look like popcorn. It was fucking great. It's like
I don't think that's what popcorn
so
is.
it's like you're eating popcorn, but it's made of chicken. It's great. It tastes like
That's how
murder.
You know you are in America.
Yes.
All you needed to have was deep fried ice cream.
Yes. So after Artrixcon, well, technically it was still during Artrixcon, sort of. So Savoy and I returned in the good old Netherlands, in the good old city of Rotterdam, and we're like, you know what? Let's go down to the fucking KFC and have ourselves a double down. Because apparently they brought that shit to the Netherlands. So we want to try it.
That kind of sounds gay.
It wasn't gay, but it certainly it didn't.
Oh, double down.
I'll tell you this. It was pretty bad. Like
Yeah, I don't see why it took off here.
Artrix's opinion on chicken was shattered today.
no, this wasn't this chicken. It's just that the concept of the entire sandwich was just. It just, on paper it looks.
Artrix, the concept of sandwich is that you have a slice of material in between two slightly thicker slices of other material.
Yeah, this is where the double down failed because it wasn't.
It was a thick slice of material in between two thin slices of material.
Look, it was basically just 2 pieces of chicken with some bacon and cheese jammed in between, and they called it a sandwich.
I mean, it does fit the basic criteria.
In a very loose sense, yes, but you really have to stretch the definition to make it work.
And the chicken. Well,
Well, okay. Well, the chick.
You just need to put a spin on this. A better marketing, like introducing the revolutionary chicken bun.
It's a hamburger made of entirely out of chicken and some bacon strips.
Yeah, yes, Artrix.
And
It's the patented new chicken bun with bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon.
The thing is, it sounds good on paper. That's basically what it boils down to. Well, fries down to.
It should only sound on paper, because if my chicken bun started doing chicken sounds to me, I would start to suspect that it's not properly done.
Well,
Or you are in China.
All that.
Here's the thing. So it sounds good on paper, okay? On paper it sounds fucking great. To have like this burger, but instead of the buns, you just have 2 pieces of chicken.
You get chicken buns. DM.
Yes, it's just chicken buns, not bread. But here's what I discovered. With a ham.
It's not actually chicken.
Well, it was chicken. It was very distinctly chicken.
It was geese.
Well, it was chicken that probably was murdered in the most horrible way imaginable.
By geese.
It was swan.
I mean, it was. I mean, there was even like an ad campaign, but like
My God, Astra, that would be amazing. Just a swan burger.
I tried that. If someone walked up to me and was like, "Hey, Artrix, want to try Swan Burger?" I'm like, "Fuck yes."
Wanna buy some swan burgers? I made it myself.
Swan
And then
burgers.
we just come all the way over to the Netherlands and say, no, they're protected.
But then I'm like, "You have no power here. Go back to your country, Queen."
That they are protected and belong to the Queen just because Queen fucking loves swan burgers.
Apparently.
That's what they don't tell you. But that's how it is, Artrix.
And you know, even better. I'll up the situation. So the Queen of England goes up to the Netherlands to keep me from eating the Swan Burger, but then the King of the Netherlands comes along and is like, "I'll protect my citizens. They have the right to eat Swan Burgers because I fucking hate swans."
Swans are evil creatures.
Exactly.
And that's how Britain and Netherlands ended up in a war.
Yes, I mean we've done it before. We'll do it again. Except this is a much greater cause. It's the swans.
Yeah, I mean, how could your king let you plebs eat the ancient secret royal food of swan burger?
I mean the fact that they're protected by the British monarch, it makes it even tastier. It's like, this is
it's the forbidden long naked food.
Yes, especially the fact that it's a pretty long okay, swan necks aren't that girthy, but they are pretty long and twisty. You know, you can probably make like you can make like a swan pretzel. That's that. This should be a thing. Just just make it as take a swan, take its neck and shape it like a pretzel and sell it like a pretzel, but it's made of swan.
Oh my God.
The swan.
Like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea that cannot go possibly wrong. And anyway,
It sounds perfect.
too.
Swan pretzels. That's even better than swan burgers. Just take a swan neck, shape it like a pretzel, deep fry that shit. There you go.
Oh my God.
Nice, tasty swan pretzel.
Oh my God.
It's a new
Yes.
and it'll be the next national cuisine of the Netherlands. First it was cheese, then there was kroketten, and now there's
And it
fucking
was cocaine. Now
and
it's
there's-
swan pretzel.
Obviously, we'll use cocaine as like a topping. Just sprinkle that shit on.
Yes, instead of salt, use cocaine.
Yeah, but that's pretty normal in Netherlands. You go to a restaurant like, you ask a waiter, okay, do you have some pepper and salt? I mean, cocaine. And like, yes, sure, here.
Is it the same situation like with weed? You banned it from being sold to foreigners, so now if you want to buy some weed, you have to perform the secret Netherlands handshake.
You don't. You just ask for weed as a topping, and it's fine. You go to a restaurant, you're like, okay, I'd like to have this dish, and all you have to do is just ask for some weed to
Like,
put on
you
your
don't
food.
sound Dutch to me. Like, it's medical, it's alright.
You just you know. Here's the thing. A lot of people, you know, they act all nervous and shit. They're like, oh, yeah, I'd like to have some, you know, can I have some weed to put on my meal? No,
I'd like to have some. You know what?
just act fucking natural. Like, yeah, sure. Like, just act like you're asking for salt.
Like this
Like-
Swan Burger is kind of plain. Do you have any weed?
Yeah, and then they just give you some weed. It's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's, okay, yeah, of course your Swan Burger tastes kind of lame because it's Swan and they actually don't taste all that good. So you definitely need some weed to, you know, spice up the food a little bit. Except when you spice it up, it will do something entirely different, but it's fine.
It will make you stop caring about how the food tastes.
That's how you eat Swan Pretzel, obviously. And that's how a new national dish was born. See, Astra, that's how you do it. Don't go into this whole craze where every British person suddenly wants to become a cook because the TV told them to. No, you just have to be creative.
Swan Burger.
No, Swan Pretzel.
More of those.
I like my idea of Swan Burger.
No, look, it's not even a thing yet, and it's already branching up.
Yes. Okay. Here's the perfect compromise. Okay, it's a Swan Pretzel on a burger. We just take two buns.
No, Swan Burger between two Swan Pretzel.
Yes, we call it the Swan Burger Double Down. So it's two Swan two Swan pretzels with some weed in between.
Don't forget the
No. Hold on. We're trying to make this British, so it's two Swan pretzels, but in between is some vinegar-soaked chips.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll have two.
There aren't enough swans in the country.
And you have to fight the queen.
You have to fight.
You have to fight the queen to unlock that. You have to overthrow the government of Britain in order to get this back to work.
Speaking of government, one of the funnier videos I saw today, and I have to thank SanyaWaffles for pointing this out to me.
I didn't point out nothing.
Well, you shared a video, didn't you?
No.
You did. It was the video of Count Dankula and
I want my lawyer.
Okay. I'm your lawyer now, and
Stop this man from libeling me.
no. Stop wasting my time.
No, you.
Okay, bye. So yeah, basically you get into the situation where the Sargon and Count Dankula go down to the EU, and all because all they wanted to do was to shitpost on the internet, and now they're holding a fucking speech as the EU. The system works.
Christ.
All I wanted to do was play video games.
Yes.
In the lion's cage.
Hmm?
The lion's den, so to speak.
Also related to that, yes.
It showed that what the video was called.
Also, yes, memes are gonna be illegal in the EU. They're gonna be super illegal. Like it's you know, we used to think of weed as the ultimate illegal substance, but you know, as we've proven in the Netherlands, it's not really that bad.
We used to think of memes as a inexhaustible resource.
But now, no, they're gonna be.
It turns out that memes are actually not renewable.
So
So
yeah.
they have to be regulated.
Look, Xaverius, in a few years' time, we'll just have to go to the back alley of some shady, back alley. You know, the alley's got like a little name plate that says Shady Back Alley. That's the name of the alley.
Look at it. We just need to transition from memes to something that's renewable.
I don't know what all you nivas are talking about. I'm gonna be deep frying memes like that's where it's at, because they can bypass any copyright filter unless they work on improving the copyright filter. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I don't know why you guys are talking about doing it. It's like, hey, I got some dank memes. If you want them, I can.
That's
make a
before
political motherfucker.
Psst, nothing.
Before your ISP makes you pay thousands of dollars for the meme.
Psst, nothing personnel, kid. But do you want to buy some memes? Got some dank memes and some juicy memes.
No, look. You have memes. And the memes are apparently regulated, so you can't just go to the internet and post memes. Because obviously that's criminal.
Okay, so
those memes belong to hardworking people of the European Parliament. Well, anyway, I have a solution for this. Aftermarket memes.
So basically, it's a meme that you can install on the memes that you gotten legitimately.
Damn right. You just put a MS Paint filter on it.
Ah, okay.
A new meme.
But the irony is that they'll become memes themselves because, well, a lot of memes are
that's
memes.
The thing, Artrix. You create them under Creative Commons license.
Okay.
It's open source memes. That's the future.
The future is open source memes.
Actually, that's true. If we read Pepe as Pepe, why don't we read memes as memes?
Well,
as I said, either deep fry them, filter the fuck out of them, and like I do, or like I like, or just create open source versions of and
That's what I just said.
Yeah, like you just said. So I don't see why you have to do a back alley of that shit.
But that's off. But
that was Artrix's proposition of the problem that we have, and I proposed him a solution for the problem.
But it's much funnier to go to back alley because then you feel like a badass. It's like, yes.
And then the EU.
Yeah, then the meme police
like, "Oi, mate, you
Artrix.
got a license for that meme."
Exactly.
Then
and you got arrested and shipped for 10 years to Gulag.
But then
my solution just go yes.
Look,
this is open license.
Look, all you have to say when that happens is no you, and you win automatically.
Unless that's also copyright.
Then you use the Cyrillic alphabet or whatever.
Because you know, Alex, if you refer to the EU with the U, and EU has everything copyrighted, then you are breaking it copyright.
But then I guess all I have to do then is just create a bigger EU. So what countries are there up for grabs? So I guess I can get Switzerland and Norway and the UK is gonna be out of the EU, so I'll just grab them for my EU, which is gonna be grander. And maybe I can add Japan to it, just because I can. They'll probably be down for it, because I'll just be like,
you could probably
look, yeah, and Israel, yes. So I can go to Japan and be like, look, I know you guys hate the fucking dolphins, right? So to join my EU, and you can kill all the dolphins you want. It's fine. I'll even create
You mean they can research all the dolphins they want?
Sure. And I'll just create an entire aquarium full of dolphins, and they can have a field day. They can do whatever the fuck they want with these dolphins. It's fine. As long as they join my EU. And same for Australia. They can join my EU as well. They're like, hey Australia. They're like, you what cunt? They're like, hey, oi mate, you want to join me? You want to join me EU, mate? And then they're like, why the fuck should we do that? And like, well,
Yes.
the anime titties. I got a lot of them. You know, I got Japan in here. They're in, and then you know that means you can import all the anime titties for you know, without any tariffs and shit because they're in the same customs union. Well, obviously they'll be in.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna see? You know, I think with the EU, what they just did.
Are you gonna see anime titties?
What you're gonna see is more Brexits happening.
Yes,
better or
Britain will exit European Union twice.
Yes.
Yeah, like you're gonna see other countries probably go, you know what, fuck you.
Because we didn't exit hard enough, let's do it again.
I mean, the EU, but the thing is, I also worry, like, I know the UK is trying to do similar shit, so what you're gonna see
Denmark doesn't like it, and Poland doesn't like it, and Hungary is going to get fucked very soon, so they probably don't like it either.
Yeah, like the EU, just to me, is like they're trying to govern. It's the same problem I have with the United States. They're trying to govern way too much of a big thing, and there's not enough way you can.
The thing is, unlike United States, EU actually doesn't have a reason to exist.
What? That's the thing. Like, why did they make it after like?
I have no idea what you said.
You're roboting pretty bad, just as I know.
Must be the superior American internet.
Okay, I think he died at T.
Sonya is my internet's being fucky right now. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it was working just fine until you said that. So it's obviously it's obviously the United States trying.
Listening.
Yeah, someone's listening and they don't like what you have to say.
Well, to me,
We know you're out here.
the EU just to me seems like a mistake because wasn't the whole point of World War II to get away from like a super power like that governing everything? Like,
you know, this one is good.
I thought the point of World War II was, you know, having this madman that is trying to kill all those Jews to stop him.
And gypsies and homosexuals and Slavs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially the Slavs.
I think she meant post World War II or something.
that's what I meant. Like after World War II, wasn't the whole idea was like, even within some parts of the United States, people were like, maybe the idea of having a huge governing body just grabbing up everything isn't a good idea.
From my understanding,
of Germany, you don't get nothing. France, shut the fuck up. Because after every war, France is like, give half Germany, give. And then, I mean, look, that's the reason why World War II happened, because France just took too much.
They wanted everything, and then Germany was like, no, you.
Quite literally.
no, but the EU started out as a economy union, pretty much to.
And it should have stayed. Look, economy, better prices on steel because you know China and India actually too, and lesser tariffs and easier crossing of the borders. Yeah, that's all nice. But then for some reason you have parliament and it stops being fun.
Yeah, it started out.
I don't mind the idea of a common economic union, but when it involves like a legislature that just literally gets to arbitrarily decide very broad laws, it's my problem with the United States too. Like, I'm not going to shit on just the EU or the UK. I don't like the idea of a big government deciding what's best in an arbitrary sense. Like, I'm not a libertarian per se. I believe in some
the thing about the US of America, at least from what I heard, is that your individual states can do whatever fuck they please.
Yeah, like California and Texas are like
which is amazing because you know they are kind of in the union and everything since the Civil War, and they still can do whatever they please. In Europe, in Europe, in EU, every single state is sovereign and independent, yet they cannot do what they want.
Well, it's the same in the US. I mean, if all the states could do what they wanted, do you think, like some of the states would, for example, allow gay marriage?
They did, actually.
And then they just made it federal.
Yeah, that's because it was mandated from like above, from a place that told all the states to.
No, it started.
I know it was the decision from very high up.
It started out with a bunch of states legalizing gay marriage. The problem with that was that it wasn't recognized across the entire United States. So, for instance, you'd get.
So the USA was like, well, you know what, you can do it.
Yeah, and then eventually US was like, you know what, it's fine. If you marry, then.
There are two. Okay, what happened was, I know there was one case where they struck down Defense of the Marriage Act. That was actually done by that was done by both some conservatives and some liberals, believe it or not. It wasn't like, then there was another one that started in Ohio where I forget who did it. This gay couple married in another state were having trouble getting it recognized in Ohio. They fought it all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court basically struck down, that gay marriage is legal. That's basically what happened. Before that, you had independent states, ranging from Massachusetts all the way to California, basically allowing it. But you couldn't really go across the border of each state. So that basically made it not only can you do that now, but it basically is against the 14th Amendment.
What is the 14th Amendment? Oh,
the 14th Amendment. Let me look that up just so I get an exact wording of it. 14th Amendment, Constitution of the United States, revision 1789. In simple terms. An amendment to the United States Constitution ratified in 1868, defining national citizens and forbidding the states to restrict the basic rights of citizens or other people. Ergo, they decided you cannot discriminate against gays because they are citizens. And this was not just like a lot of conservatives were against it, but some actually voted for it. If it were like, people are outraged right now about the fact that the conservatives are getting more power in the Supreme Court. But they've always kind of been in control. They've always had 5 people in there. It's always been I think Roberts, Supreme Justice Roberts is a conservative, but he's always. Not all the conservatives are just hard right. Some of them are more left on some things. It's almost like it's not black and white. So yeah, that's what happens.
It's almost like if people have their own opinions.
We can have those.
We can't have those, which kind of segues into what I want to talk about, but I want you guys to wrap up what you're talking about first, because, the EU I think I'm just starting to hate ultra big government at this point.
Look.
You need a small government, so small you can barely see it.
Yeah,
like a micro government.
Just split up the US in 52 individual countries.
That's gonna be fun.
That's what I was talking about. It's really funny because they are like in the union. It's just kind of compulsory, and still they can do almost whatever they want.
Technically, left and right against the federal government.
Technically,
in the frame of their own state government. Yet in Europe, when every state is historically independent, for some reason we can't do what we please because. Apparently, EU, this artificially constructed shit that doesn't even have any historical reason for existing, unlike the overarching government of the United States, without that independence and whatever. Yes, for some reason, EU overrides everything we do. That doesn't make much sense if you think about it.
Yeah, it does. Like, the states, even after the Civil War, they still have a lot of autonomy. Like, I know Ohio Medicaid's not the same as say Medicaid in other states. They do have some differences, and you can also have different budgets for different things at the state level. It's like, there's federal laws that can basically dictate it, but they can be challenged by states, and they often are. Like, a lot of people are challenging Trump stuff right now. A lot of people also challenge Obama stuff. A lot of people challenge Bush's stuff, and so on and so forth.
And lots of people are just challenged in general.
Yeah. Oh lordy.
But yeah, personally, when it comes to the whole EU thing, it was fucking great when we had this EEC thing going on, which is basically like, look, let's just cooperate financially, okay? Like, let's
It's
just...
like I like the part when I can cross the border without a passport, and the part where I can get stuff from e-shops without the tax.
Yeah.
And I don't like the rest of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And like,
it's kind of like a bigger version of the Benelux. It's like, we're these individual countries, but let's streamline shit a little bit. That isn't too bad. It's all this entire bureaucracy that's basically trying to become one big super state. But
why the fuck do we have a parliament? I just wanted to order some games.
I just wanted to play vidya.
I wanted to upload this meme of Double D from Evan and Eddie showing me a true fact, but now I have to pay a tariff on it. Fuck that shit. I live in the Americas.
Anyway, you have to pay the import tax into
the tariffs are only about, but this is some bullshit that Google had already to go through Germany. Basically, like newspapers are like, if Google wants to, it's mostly because of Google.
Yeah.
If Google wants to put a snippet sort of our articles into their searches, they have to pay us a tax. And they went already through it in Germany, and it was like...
Yeah, because apparently...
the government has actually ruled that, Google has to pay the tax for our tax if they are... or have to pay fees to the...
Yeah, because apparently copying the title is copyright.
But I don't...
It's just greed, basically. So basically, you're using snippets out of our news article, you have to pay for it. And so Google was like, okay, we need to pay, then we just won't list it.
Exactly. One would think when you...
And that's what Google did. Basically, like the news articles didn't appear, and they were complaining about, oh no, we are not getting any visitors, and then we're like trying to sue that Google is using their monopolistic powers because...
We want to sue Google! Why?
They basically wanted to get money either way from Google, basically.
Exactly.
Let's get all the money from Google.
You want to sue Google? Why do you want to sue Google? It didn't do what we told it to!
Can let me finish, you freak. No, basically what happened since they had to kinda agree with Google, okay, you can list our stuff, but you don't need to pay, because they realized it's a bit more better for them, so they are try to pull this shit on, the whole EU level.
Yeah. Well, they did try it in Spain.
And that's basically the link text. The meme stuff is a copyright filter, so you don't need to pay taxes for memes. It's just about like the filter for the content ID for the whole internet.
The link text was Article 11, and I mean that kind of what happened in Spain too with Google News. They were like, no, we are not doing this, fuck off. And then Google went away, and it never returned, the Google News.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Google as much as I used to.
As for Article 13, it's probably gonna be familiar to our American presence. It basically shifts the responsibility for online content from the poster to the provider of the service. Which is like holding a, I don't know, street hot dog vendor responsible for people throwing wrappers around the town.
Throwing what?
Wrappers from hot dog.
You
paper in which it's packaged.
You get a napkin, and then someone's like, "I'll just toss it on the street."
Yes, and then police comes to the
hot dog stand
and beats him.
What's this? Just your hot dog wrapper then.
What happens if someone, for example, chokes on a hot dog or like burns themselves? They get already held accountable, even for it's like, at least in Europe, it's like common sense that if you order hot coffee, it's hot. So if you burn yourself, it's your own fault. In the US, if you burn yourself, if there's not a warning on the label or anything, then then they can get sued. So it is kind of reality already.
Apparently, we need warnings on our forums now.
Wait, hold up. What's this? How does this have to do with Article 13 again? I'm kind of lost.
I was just making a metaphorical example and back took it to a different level. Like not level up, but level left. Anyway, Yes. So, if you have a forum or I don't know a web page, if you have a Facebook, like if you are Zuck himself, then
Okay.
in Europe you are responsible for what the 50 million people on Facebook post. Like for every single post, it's now your responsibility instead of the people who post. So obviously, when somebody's posting something, nobody bats an eye because nobody cares. But if you have somebody who has their own head up their ass, who just keeps bothering you with this stuff, or if you have enough of it, then EU is maybe like, huh, that's racist, and then you have to remove it. Now, obviously, it's not about racist. This time it's about copyrights. But yeah, somebody might take a notice. Somebody might tell it to the EU, and then you are faced with a fine. So obviously, you just delete the post, or you delete the person because the person has too many copyrighted posts.
So basically, they're trying to do what YouTube does, but for every single
yes.
thing.
Also,
which is not how it is.
Talking about YouTube, I said 50 million people. I have no idea how many people are there on Facebook or whatever, but it's enough people that you can have. Even if you have all the diversity hires, you wouldn't have enough people to go over the content. So obviously, you need to use algorithms, and we all know how great algorithms are.
And one of the things I'm fearing is, just to be very clear here, I don't trust machines because I have seen AIs that literally you can become psychopathic. Look up Norman AI if you want to know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you have seen AIs on YouTube.
I don't think it's really the AIs that you need to be concerned about, but more about the people that control the AI.
That's actually what I was going to get into. And not only that, but Google and several other content, like hosting.
Oh, Google has the most advanced content filter ever, and it's still, banning stuff that shouldn't be banned.
It's just going to basically, I fear what you're going to see is they're going to start going, shoot first, ask questions never. And basically,
that's what algorithms do. They take your stuff away, and then you're like, okay, this is not fair. I would like to file a complaint, and then you wait 3 months, and then you are reinstated. In any case, somebody is fearing that they might use it later on for stuff they disagree with, as opposed to
which is my next fear. What I was going to mention.
I
like, what's going to prevent them from saying, "Hey, Artrix chat server, Artrix server, you're posting stuff we notice that we don't necessarily agree with."
Wait. We are closed off group. Where you can get without a personal invite. So that means we are illegal only in Britain.
Yeah, and that's another thing is, like, I know Britain's trying to pass stuff where private forums can be held accountable for what some random asshole happens to post, which I think is a massive overreach. And, like, this ain't just the EU. Obviously, the UK and US government, we all are fucking corrupt pieces of shit, and I think we all just... I'm not a violent person, but at this point, I'm basically like, hey, if a revolution happens, I just hope the people who take over aren't as fucking up as this.
Revolution! Little bit of French.
Which, actually, okay, we surrender. Actually, this is actually a great lead-in to what I wanted to share with you folks this week.
Oh no, not one of those.
I haven't even finished the topic.
Well, maybe you should wrap up the topic then.
Yes. Well, in any case, in the foreseeable close future, and by close future I mean January or so, because, the people in European Union have their heads in such unique position that they can fuck themselves in the ass with their own dick and perform autofellatio at the same time. That everything takes at least half a year. So the actual voting that's gonna confirm this, or throw it away because EU, I don't know, it's gonna happen in January. So until then, we have still time to pick up all our memes and lock them away in a safe. Not fucking getting my rare peppers. And we'll see. If it passes, then I think the short foreseeable future is that half of the internet gets fucking nuked, and the other half is just going to go away because the companies don't fucking bother with it. I mean, after all the GDPR shit, some of the American publications were just like, sorry, our pages are unavailable in most of the EU countries.
So
This is our destiny.
basically,
Sorry.
basically we'll just revert back to Internet 1.0, where it's like this is just some website with all the
fucking bulletin forums.
just it's just a web server hosted somewhere in the fucking Sahara, powered by solar power and a satellite uplink. And
Open source the internet.
yes, and the EU is like, you can't do that, and then the server's like, I'm in the fucking Sahara on some VPN.
I did some research from, well, I watched the videos of the people who were in the EU, and it seems very clear that the people voting actually have absolutely no idea what they are voting on.
Yeah, like I've heard several publications talk about that. They know less about the internet than U.S. politicians.
So I put together a rough timeline. Okay, so EU in like, I don't know, 2012, find a shocking thing that apparently there's this new thing called internet. So,
Not one of those.
Put all their research capacities for it. They researched for, what is it, for 5 years. And you know what they found out? They found out, Artrix, that internet is not a big truck.
Is it a dump truck?
No, it's a series of tubes.
Oh, okay. So I find
And with this knowledge, they realized that, you know, there are young content creators on the internet.
Oh no, not one of those.
Who just keep having their content stolen all the time, and it's really hurting their sales, and they can't get anywhere in the world and carve a name for themselves. I think one of these young prospective artists was named Madonna or something like that, and there was also this young guy called Paul McCartney. I'm not entirely sure. And obviously these young starving artists need some help, so you know that's why all this happened.
Which I get, you know, content theft is a problem, but this has no. Here's the thing: this has no fair use clause at all, which the United States does. And I think what we need to start doing is, no offense to you Europeans, just hear me out. I live in the United States, and several companies that are big in the world are based in the United States. We should do U.S. law first and basically go, sorry, you live in the EU, you can't use our services.
Yes, and I do hope that will happen, because that's gonna piss even the fucking normies. Like, imagine normies are sitting on their Facebooks and suddenly their Pepe gets exhausted, and the next Pepe too, and what the fuck is going on?
And then they all discover the wonderful world of VPNs.
And then suddenly there's no Facebook.
I'm going to encourage people to use VPNs all the time, you know, if they can. You know, it's worth it just to get around. I have to use VPNs too on occasion because...
VPN, because I'm worth it.
But yeah, so basically, right now I'm not, like, between the US's net neutrality, between the EU's, this, and the UK wanted to hold...
Between the EU discovering internet.
and the UK basically going, oi mate, your server has to be held accountable, you know, whoever hosts this forum, if you're hate speeching at all, you're held responsible, not the person posting.
I just really love it how all these people who almost disintegrate when they move a bit quickly, just, you know, en masse realize that the internet is a thing, finally. Like, wait a moment, there's a thing on this planet that's not regulated.
Yeah,
That
like
needs to change.
Well, between all of this, it's just like... I'm ashamed. Like, we live in a society. That meme comes to mind.
I mean, look. If we rate the governing people based on their understanding of the internet, I think Trump wins because he's able to shitpost like nobody else.
No, I mean, you know, say what you want about the net neutrality thing, but at least it's not outright blocking websites right now. It might in the future, but this basically could mean entire swaths of content just destroyed.
Yes, that's why you need to back up your patterns.
Back them up. Back them up. Forever.
Just
Put them on.
gotta buy a bundle of titanium drives and...
Yes.
Yeah.
Build a big fucking NAS and store them all.
Yeah, what we're gonna... Yeah,
And just store the peppers as templates, and then you use them for creating your open source memes. I mean, that works.
Checkmate atheist.
Also spam that forthright picture to all the EU people who voted for that.
Anywho, maybe it's time to bring up Sanya's topic.
Okay. Whatever.
Hi.
Yeah, this is... It's not hard to talk about, but it's just... I don't know what everyone's reaction is going to be. I talked about this briefly before the stream started, and... I had a run-in with a former friend of mine that I had quit talking to because they got a bit... How do I put it nicely? They were a bit very extreme, very hostile, and I kind of felt like...
I think the term is faggot.
And they were... How do I put this? Not very, not very nice.
They were not nice.
Yeah, I have no really gentle way of putting it. They kind of did some stuff that ticked me off, but it was not really their opinion. It was just more how they portrayed themselves. And I'll get more into the details, but basically,
yes,
I had another...
would help.
I had another friend who kind of mellowed out, and I'm like, okay, I'll give this other friend a chance as well.
We still don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll just put all the pretenses. I have this friend, I'm going to call them Person L, because Person L, I don't want to name drop them here. I don't see the point in...
No doxing on my Christian server.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of person. But Person L was a very good friend of mine way back in the day. But around the time Trump was running for president, they kind of got their tinsel in a tangle, which I can understand a little bit because Trump. I don't like him as a president. I hate the shit he does, but I don't spend my every waking moment just reading the fact that he's president. Yeah, reading, yeah.
Obviously he's the best because of the shit posting. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so but there were several friends that I had stopped talking to as well as this person because of that. But a lot of them mellowed out. One of my friends who did.
Wait, did they realize that Trump didn't immediately release all the nukes?
Yeah, I think they realized that it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. They did not get as angry at politics as, they loosened up, basically.
Not getting angry at politics is a good course of action.
Yeah, so, I mean, I get there's stuff he's doing that's not pleasant, but, it's not the end of the world as people are making it out to be, and, the best they can do is go about their lives the best they can and be, not just immediately jump to the assumption that everyone is either an SJW or a Nazi, that kind of thing is...
Those are the only two kinds of people that exist these days, okay?
Yes.
You're either a Nazi or an SJW, there's absolutely no in-between. It's not like I'm a filthy old centrist, alright? That's right. I'll go.
Artrix, that's so absolutely nothing in between that sometimes those two things are the same.
I'm a filthy old centrist, all right.
He's fucking radical centrist.
Radical centrist.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, but oh my god, there's all sorts of things I could say about what we just talked about, but they're about the all. But anyway, so a lot of my friends kind of mellowed out, and I'm starting to talk to them a bit more. So I figured I'd give Personnel a try. Personnel, I contacted them through my old Facebook because that's where because that was the only place I knew they kind of existed.
It's okay. We all have some normies in our life.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to Facebook. I hit them up. And I'm like,
Oh, oi, mate.
Hey, do you have a Discord? I'd like to talk to you because I don't use Facebook a lot, but this was the only place I do use.
Can we communicate, mate?
And so we added each other to Discord, and I explained to them kind of why I went. Kind of like with my other friends. I kind of explained to them why I kind of took a break, so to speak. And it was because this was mentally has been, like, this ultra serious doomsday mongering has absolutely drained me mentally to the point where, I didn't mince words. I basically told them this was really bothering me.
People would understand that you fled from Mike Pence and his awesome lightning powers.
Yeah, well, I'd like to shock him with a collar. That's just me. Hey, he wants to do the same to me. Why can't I do the same in return?
Sounds pretty shocking to me.
But what if he likes it?
Oh, you. Anyway, so I actually, long story short, they basically kind of accused me of trying to get them in a gotcha moment. They accused me of because I used to hang around with some of them. We used to be, because I'm not a feminist and I used to hang around MRAs, they used that against me. They got really pissed at me for not being a good liberal by
party line.
Because I didn't go around punching Nazis. A little fun fact, just because it is relevant, you can't change your name legally in the United States if you have a felony on your record.
Ah,
that makes sense.
So part of my transition is I want to change my name. I cannot legally change my name if I'm accused of assault and convicted of assault. I don't like, as much as I hate Nazis, it's still assault. Cool motive, still assault.
That's
nice video game music.
It's some nice background noise.
What?
It's great.
Fuck! I thought I was muted.
Oh, it was back.
Back, you are a video game.
Yes,
He is.
I had to distract myself during this awesome topic.
Yes.
This is no time for video games. Look, Back just wants to play video games.
Well, that was one of the reasons I kind of was reluctant to bring this up, but, because I know it's kind of a challenging issue. I kind of, I felt bad for just not talking to my friends like that, but the thing is, I kind of had to do that because mentally I was not well. Like, Artrix, you remember me talking not several years ago, but I think it was around February of 2017 that I basically had a mental breakdown and it pushed several of my friends away.
Yes.
Part of it was this political bullshit just getting
That's a very specific date. I barely know that it even existed, and Artrix remembers events.
No, I don't remember the exact timestamp, but yeah, I remember, saying, coming down to me and saying, I'm going through some tough shit right now.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, a lot of it was my fault. I kind of let this shit get to me, but that was why I stopped talking to these people, because it was literally affecting me in a way that I could not, it was not healthy. It was just simply not healthy. Anyway,
yes, lots of people are like, yes, I was in the bad mental place and it put me on this terrible journey of 5 years. And also I was harassed on Twitter, and give money to my Patreon. And you are like, well, I just stopped.
Yeah, I literally just stopped talking to these people until I could mentally be able to frame myself in a way that I could, accept of the fact that things were going to continue going south.
You are absolutely terrible being a victim. You are even like independent and shit.
And I told these people who, I told all of them, like, over time, and as I said, they mellowed out, so I figured, why couldn't I talk to this one they did not mellow out. In fact, they were so, as I said, they were just so much, they just accused me of so much shit. Like, I think the biggest thing was they basically all but accused me of being a Nazi myself, because I did not go around.
I mean, you didn't punch Nazis on sight, obviously.
I think the major problem you're running into here is that this particular person is driving their entire fucking identity from their political affiliation. And, and it's actually been a great way to filter out people that will give you shit. If, for instance, you go up to someone's Tumblr...
If you have a person in your life who has a calendar with small crosses each day, and if you ask them, what is that? That's the day when I punched a Nazi.
Hmm?
And then one day, they don't punch a Nazi, and it's like, oh my god, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, once your political affiliation becomes your entire fucking identity as a person, that's probably where you have to have a good, hard, and aroused look at yourself.
It's also probably where you stop being a person.
Yes. You stop being a person and you just become like this...
a Nazi punching machine.
Yes.
I mean, I get the outrage at the...
I mean, look, when all that you have is fists, every problem looks like a Nazi.
but I mean, I get the problem, like that there are people like this out there, but I feel like, I know, like, if they were to listen in on this, they'd probably give me some shit for being unsympathetic. But I do, like, as I described earlier, I've actually been in the same car as a Klansman, and a trans woman, I was terrified.
Ooh.
But, like, I'm not kidding. He outright admitted to me he was a Ku Klux Klan member, and said that, black people, white people should not even mix at all, which, was just terrifying to me, because I'm like, I'm probably the most liberal person in that car right now.
It's fucking good that you are not a trans black person.
just trans, but not like in the context of this fucking dude.
Like, imagine if he made Rachel Dolezal.
But here's the thing. Even then, I didn't have the urge to punch him because, well, one, I was in a position where I could not defend myself. I actually had a broken leg, not because my foot had just been operated on. So my entire leg was cast.
I understand. So the traditional Antifa strategy of throw shit, run away didn't work there. Yes.
Yeah, like, to be honest, so you know what I did?
You didn't punch him.
His ass. I didn't punch him. I ignored his ass, and he eventually stopped talking about it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Because he was very clear to him that I was not interested. I just kind of nodded and just, acted like I was listening to music or something. So he was like, I heard him distinctly say it, but I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to ignore him as much as I can and go away, and hopefully he will leave me alone. This is just temporary, Sanya. You can get through this. And I did. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that, but I feel like unless they're physically coming at you with something, why? Like, I just don't get that. Like, I honestly, like, and that was kind of basically where they were getting all,
Wait, I think I missed the framing of the situation. Was it like on a bus or something?
Oh no! A friend of my mom's had picked me. My mom had picked me up to take me to get a money order so I could apply for this apartment I'm living in. because Mom couldn't do it herself, I basically had to rely on my mom's friend, who at the time, and she had brought along one of her other friends, not Mom's friend, just some random guy I don't even know. Like, she's known for just dating random guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified, but I'm like, what can I do to, like, make this situation better? The first thing I thought of, well, just ignore. This is some random guy, I'm probably never gonna meet him again. I'm gonna give you a hint, I have not met him yet, since then. So,
that sounds very sensible.
That's terrible.
As long as I don't engage, I should be fine.
Well,
yes, I believe racism is obviously a bad thing, but I'm not going to engage with some random guy in person, because why the fuck would I?
Especially if it doesn't really, contribute to anything whatsoever. I mean, you're probably not going to change his mind, and it's probably just going to be awkward, and you just want to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I just wanted to apply for my apartment and get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yes.
That was not my situation. I honestly I did not give a, like, this may sound like enabling a Nazi or white supremacist to me. I don't give a fuck. I was in the right to do this. I just simply wanted to get the fuck out of there. If it meant dealing with this asshole for a couple
for
hours,
for a normal standard run-of-the-mill person, this is not enabling a racist, because they don't know what the word enabling means.
But yeah, so I'm like, and not only that, but a friend of mine, I know several friends who are in.
Okay. Now you are just exaggerating. I don't believe somebody will be on the internet and have more than one friend.
Believe it. But I have several friends who have parents or are in mixed relationships themselves, and I find it absolutely despicable, some of the shit I've heard. But it's sort of like, I find myself, I'm in the best of moods when I am not confronting these issues with random people. Like,
well, see, the thing is, when somebody wants to talk about this, they are probably racist, no matter what side of the political spectrum it is.
Like that's the other thing too. Whenever, like, this person that I'm talking to, basically, they just got very angry at me at the whole end of this because I was not caving in. Like, I probably, if I had said I was a classical liberal, I probably would have been accused of being a Nazi, and who knows what would have happened.
Obviously, you
as
would
I said, they all but stopped before calling me a Nazi.
Well, you would have to explain what a classical liberal is, and it's like, oh, so it's some sort of alt-right.
No, that's basically what I was. Yeah, that's basically, like, they could not figure out. Yeah,
well,
I'm a liberal, but I'm not your kind of liberal.
Look, that sort of person would probably be like a borderline commie, and anything that's like left, right of Stalin is just alt-right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, Lenin was right of Stalin.
So he's obviously alt-right.
Alright, was it the other way around? Like...
No, he's not. I'm going a step further. He's not alt-right, he's like the alt-right, which is even righter than the alt-right, or some shit like that.
Do you count like despotism on the scale of right-wing, or do you just, the worse you are, the more left you are? Because, Lenin was okay with killing his opposition. Stalin was okay with killing just about anyone.
I think, but here's the thing, like, I talked about this with my therapist, and I have no qualms stating that I talked about this, but I talked about this with several of my friends too, and my therapist said he would like me to be able to come to the conclusion without talking to anyone else and seeking their validation that I did the right thing.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm gonna go on the record here on this podcast and state I did the right thing. I was not, it wasn't even the fact that they had these political views. It was the fact that they had no attempt to even have any empathy for where I was coming from.
Yes, they were faggots.
they were, if they heard you say that, they're going to be on your shit like shit on Velcro Xaverius.
Sounds like they were faggots.
That's kind of. But
that would be the most hilarious thing to see if they get in touch with Xaverius and just watch this show unfold. It would be glorious.
Yeah, like that's the kind of the thing. I don't know if they would be that kind of person. But I'm not putting it past them. On the other hand, and I'm not trying to call them out. That's why I'm trying to keep the aliases they use online private, because I don't want to call them out directly. I'm not don't want to name drop them or dox them.
Maybe it's like with those religious people who are very religious and much Bible, and it turns out they are gay, right?
like that one guy that was the head of this really big fucking church, and then even debate like Richard Dawkins and that kind of shit, and then turns out he was really fucking gay.
Exactly. Maybe it's like it with these people, like they're a white power and kill our blacks, and then it turns out that is Mexican.
Oh, I'm pretty sure some of them are like closeted racists that just, or sexists that just use feminism and this social justice stuff to really just offset their own fucking.
Absolutely, like when they didn't even acknowledge the fact I told them my girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time of this occurrence had how do I put this? Her family is, her parents are, her stepdad is black and her mom is white. So they didn't even take into consideration the fact that, yeah, I know the Klan is a problem, and I know Nazis are a problem, because I know a lot of people who would be first on their list if they could get away with it.
Communists are a problem. Do you think maybe just extremists are the problem? I think you are the problem as a extreme neutral person. You need to go, Artrix.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely extremist centrist.
You're too fucking centrist for this whole.
Anyway, we should probably wrap up this episode.
Also, you probably got it wrong, because I mean, if they are openly racist, they can't be closet Klansmen. They're probably closet Mexican, if nothing else.
Yes. Anyway, we should put an end to this episode. It's been going on for quite a while.
Put an end to it.
Yes.
Deported Artrix. Yes. Also, okay. Very important thing though. There's a Spiderman game. It's on the peasant boxes, so I didn't actually pirate it yet. I should pirate and PlayStation peasant station. Anyway, yes, the game is very bad. You know why it's bad?
Something to do with the shadows or whatever, or shading.
Well, yes, his butt wasn't as shady on release as it was promised, but no, not that. He helps the police, Artrix.
Oh no!
And that means he's literally Hitler because he helped to kill black people, I guess. I don't know. Also, he's doing a surveillance on people because he's repairing towers that do surveillance.
Yeah, and then Kotako's like, oh yeah, they missed an opportunity to discuss this really deep issue in our vidya. And then
I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure I saw an article where the author, who was, well, you know how you expect a soy boy to look.
Huh?
Well, this, but with a goatee. Yeah, he was complaining that it was very nice, and he liked the web swinging and doing Spiderman shit, and web swinging, and also web swinging, because, I don't know, probably that was the only thing he did. But he also fought crime, and that was terrible. Because, you know, Spider-Man is just a normal person, and he's under the grip of the oppressive city police forces or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, man, we should just let these criminals do their thing, because they're just oppressed, man.
It's probably worth it if the alternative is helping police. It's like he literally said that Spider-Man is not some superhero that's swooping down on crime. That he's just like other people and he just wants to help make their lives better. Spider-Man is a guy who swings on webs among the tops of buildings in New York.
Yeah.
He literally swoops down on crime.
That's his whole job.
Has it ever occurred to any of these so-called journalists that game developers don't owe you shit? They can tell whatever story they want.
Well, I mean, if you want to deconstruct it like this, I mean, look, you know what a superhero is? It's a guy who wears colorful underwear on top of normal wear and fights crime. So essentially, it's a very, very, very garish vigilante. So maybe, working with the police is a good thing for a superhero. Maybe. I don't know.
The thing with this whole journalism thing is it's kind of a double-edged sword. And on one hand, you're like, okay, you're supposed to, report on the games and what they're like and if they are any good. And they're free to do it in whatever way they want it to be. So if they...
Artrix, yes, it's a double-edged sword, but these days one edge is used to cut the branch that the journalists are sitting on, and the other one is used to slit their wrists while they are complaining that the guy who made the sword is at fault.
Yes, because it seems like a lot of these places are all, giving the same twist on things. So,
the same unbiased look on things is.
Yes.
I mean, Google is unbiased too. There are records from 300 BC that confirm that.
So yeah, if I just want to play the vidya and just want someone to tell me whether a game is fucking worth buying, then it's probably just best to go to fucking YouTube and look up some gameplay footage and decide for yourself instead of...
Well, I mean, you have until January to do that.
Yes. And then
your favorite Let's Player will have to pay a license for playing games.
I guess then I have to be...
Not for playing games, for showing them on the internet.
Then I guess I have to just VPN and torrent the videos on the black market.
Well, I guess I just have to pirate the game because there's nobody showing me how it looks.
Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching this episode of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast.
Yes, with your ears.
Yes.
That's how hip kids watch things now.
So, like, favorite, subscribe, do a good jazz. And see you guys for the next recording.
And click the bell. I have the bell.
Oh yeah, click the bell. Become part of our notification squad. It's fucking great.
It was worse than usual.
Yes. So yeah, do all that good jazz. See you guys next time. Cheers.
Know you.
Know you. Bye.